creatives, David Snyder here, and I am back. I recently learned a brand new trick using Final Cut Pro X, and I want to share it with you. It's really neat, it's used in Hollywood all the time, and I can't believe how easy this was. I bet you want to see it in action before I show you how to do it, huh? Huh? Pretty cool, right? Alright guys, so here's my Final Cut Pro. I already have my clips in the media. I've already created the project. So select the clip, the first clip that we're going to use as the transition. I'm going to figure out where the heck I want to transition because I took several takes. Let's see here, and what we want to do is, yeah, alright, so you'll notice this, you'll recognize this from the intro of the video. So it's going to go ahead and create the intro before anything else. So I'm going to cut it off there. And then what we're going to want to do is transition into this second clip. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to anchor it beneath the main one because we want it to transition into it. So we're going to have to do that. Now in Final Cut Pro, it's very important that you don't anchor it right next door to it or on top of it because you're going to create that little gray bar, which is like the gray bar of death to me. I do not like them. So anyway. All right. So now we need to figure out where in this clip we want to start our transition, which it's going to be. I'm going to modify a few things here before we get started. Okay. So we need to figure out where we're going to do the transition in the first clip, which is going to be right here. So we're going to move that around just a little bit so that it meshes with the clip. Now, what we want to do is to head over here and open up the effects browser. We're going to go down to the search and we're going to type in draw mask. Go ahead and take that and drag it over to the main clip. I'm going to take that over here and do this. And we're going to figure out where in this clip we're going to start the transition, which is about right there. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to cut the clip just about there because that's where we want the effect to start. Now we're going to have to go over to the sidebar here and we're going to click on the draw mask. I'm going to reduce it just a little bit, just going to make the frame 50% or 25% so I can see the whole thing. And it works exactly like Photoshop, you guys, when you're making thumbnails and you're cutting out either yourself or a person that's in the video with you to highlight in the thumbnail. That's essentially what you're doing here. You're going to be creating these anchor points. And then when you're reaching the end, what you want to do is you want to take it completely outside of the frame so that you have space to work with. So what you're going to want to do is click composite. Totally got that wrong. Editor's note, it actually is invert mask, not composite. My bad. Now this is going to reverse what's being cut out because what's enclosed is either going to be transparent or it's going to be what's left of your first frame, so or your first clip. So let's do that. And now basically what you're going to want to do is go frame by frame with the grid that we just created through the anchor points. Before we do that, we're going to want to go over to transition, and in position we're going to want to hit the keyframe to put it in place on the first frame that we are trying to cut. Then all you got to do is if you click in the middle, you're going to be able to move the whole thing. You can also move any one of these anchor points by themselves. You can also click on the lines in between those anchor points, and both anchor points that that line is connected to will move wherever you want them. And then you just go frame by frame and it'll do its thing. Every once in a while, you're going to want to expand the anchor points that are outside of the frame just so that it's not, encroaching in on what you're working on. Now that we are done with that, you can see that as we play back this clip, that it follows suit through every single frame. It's really neat, really smooth, but the edging isn't, necessarily smooth, and so we're gonna have to feather it a little bit. So all you're gonna do is go back over to your sidebar there, to your effects bar, click feather, and adjust it accordingly. After you do that, this is what it will look like. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed my first real genuine tutorial when it comes to editing. I will work on some of these in the future, trying my hardest to make them as engaging as possible. But this is such a cool transition, right? Anyway, so until next time, remember guys, remember to
keep creating.